You're looking the wrong way. You're distracted by the emotional response that the media gives you, and you're missing the facts, figures, numbers, logic. As I always share with you, this is just my opinion. I'm going to share with you my exact research and how I make my decisions. I'm going to share with you my portfolio, but you need to do your own research. I'm only being honest and transparent. This is the era of authenticity. No more blind effing leadership. What I mean by that is, especially head of household, men, I'm talking to you, you should learn how to manage your finances. If you're relying on another man for your future retirement, you're going to hope that man is going to make sure that your family is taken care of. Listen to me. Then you're not leading your family correctly. That's the truth. The blind leadership and blind following and hoping you'll have enough for retirement is over. It's dead. Listen, it's dead. You, as a head of household and man, should have a budget, should know where your money's going. You should know right now, as I'm doing this video, if your family is on track or off track for retirement. Because $1 million at 4% is around $40,000 in retirement income. And all I got to do is look at the numbers. And I know most people aren't on track. 10% of the population owns almost all the market. So here's the good news, is that we have the greatest wealth transfer in history happening right now. I'm not your fucking hype guy. I'm sorry. I'm not your get rich quick guy. I'm not going to give you price predictions hoping. I got out of there. I matured with that shit. I started studying billionaires, multi-millionaires. They operate in systems, structures, process, discipline, consistency. They love red and they sell greed. And they and I have the patience to watch paint dry on a wall. They don't get their investment advice from the media and hype. They look at white papers, they look at financials, they see if the company is sustainable for 10 years or more. Are they well capitalized? Do they have great leadership teams? And they use logic, which I'm about to share with you. Well, everybody's panicking about Michael Saylor and Strategy B, and Bitcoin's going to zero. So let's just use some logic. And I'm going to give you some tools that you can go research and do this research yourself and then come up with your own thesis. Now you can prove me wrong and say I'm wrong, which is okay. That's what I'm trying to encourage you to do. I'm only going to tell you what I'm doing based on the facts, figures, numbers, logic that I know, not the media making me believe in bullshit. So your job today is to go type in top 100 Bitcoin treasury companies. Now I'm going to read right off of it. It'll pop up bitcointreasury.net. And I'm going to read some of the top 10. Then I'm going to tie the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and the people. I want you to write down Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink, Howard Lutnick, and Michael Saylor. We'll put Michael Saylor off to the side right now. He's going to be the character in the story. Let me explain. Jamie Dimon, you guys know, is JP Morgan. Now, the creator of JP Morgan said billionaires use astrology, millionaires use charts. There's a big hint for you right there. Your emotions are their profits. So we got Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan. We're good there? We got Howard Lutnick, who was the Commerce Secretary for the United States in Trump's cabinet. Right-hand man. Howard Lutnick was the CEO of Cantor. Write down Cantor. His son, Brandon Lutnick, now runs Cantor. So Howard Lutnick stepped out. He's writing the rules for our commerce in America. Writing the rules. Steve Witkoff stepped out. His sons run World Liberty Financial. The Trump boys run World Liberty Financial. Trump stepped out, but their dads are writing the rules. Little sidebar there. We got Jamie Dimon's a character in the story. We got Howard Lutnick, Cantor. We got Larry Fink. I think you guys all know who that is. The largest asset manager in the world, who's the largest holder in Bitcoin now through the IBIT ETF. Okay, so we got three characters and we got the main character, Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is the CEO of Strategy B. Strategy B used to be MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies is a software company, or was a software company up into 2020. Michael Saylor, why I can relate to him so well, went through the same shit I went through as the pandemic destroyed their software company, which the pandemic destroyed one of my companies and shut us down. So I can relate. So he made a bold move just like I did. We came back and went fully online and threw a Hail Mary. Well, he threw a big Hail Mary. He went from a software company to a Bitcoin treasury. Pause. Let's bring Larry Fink in for a moment. Larry Fink, BlackRock, was already one of the top 3 holders in MicroStrategy, a software company. And so the CEO, Michael Saylor, goes to the board and says, hey, I want to go all in on Bitcoin. There was 0 Bitcoin treasury companies. 0 at this point. 0. And they're like, you're out of your mind. He said, I want to go 500 million. Nope. He said 250? They said, okay. Threw a Hail Mary. $250 million, and then he did a stock buyback for those who are like, you're out of your effing mind. And it literally saved the company. Not only saved the company, but they became the number one and only Bitcoin treasury. And all of a sudden, a bunch of companies started following. Now there's hundreds of companies on the S&P that have become Bitcoin treasuries. That's why you need to go research Bitcoin treasuries. So why would hundreds of companies now, why would America create a Bitcoin strategic reserve? Create Bitcoin treasuries. Because I thought Bitcoin's going to zero. I thought it's a fraud. There's a reason why I brought these characters in for you. Because this is how I make my investments. Not off your hype, not off the bullshit, not off price predictions. Okay, so we got Michael Saylor. We got that locked in, right? He's the number one Bitcoin treasury in the world by a long shot. They're sitting on 671,000 Bitcoin. BlackRock was already one of the top holders in MicroStrategies. But BlackRock didn't change their position. But Larry Fink was telling you that Bitcoin's a fraud. It's used for money laundering. His clients have no interest in it. So don't you think if your clients have no interest in it, it's used for money laundering, it's a fraud, that you would back off your position if a company went all in on Bitcoin? But they didn't. They stayed steady. Okay, so why did I bring up Jamie Dimon and Howard Lutnick? Let me just give you some of the top companies. So we have 21 Capital is the number 3 at 43,000 Bitcoin. XXI is 21 Capital, which is linked up with Cantor. Remember Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary? Howard Lutnick, son Brandon Lutnick, runs Cantor, which is connected to 21 Capital, which is the number 3 Bitcoin treasury that just went public, and that's the stock that I got into, XXI. Oh, and then we also got Trump Media, number 11, and we got American Bitcoin, one of my favorite ones, ABTC, a Bitcoin mining company, which is Eric Trump. We have Eric Trump, Howard Lutnick, Michael Saylor. Okay, so let's go back and focus on MicroStrategies, or Strategy B. Well, how does Jamie Dimon come into this? We got the number one Bitcoin treasury company in the world. The next thing that you're going to go look up is top holders in MicroStrategies, okay? The top holders are, drumroll please, Vanguard. Remember, this is the number one Bitcoin treasury in the world. So if Bitcoin fails, this whole company fails. Number 3, BlackRock. They're still number 3. Number 7, drumroll please, JP Morgan. But it's used for money laundering. Our clients don't want it. But JP Morgan now, you can leverage your Bitcoin by the end of the year. And they're the top 7 holder in MicroStrategies, a Bitcoin treasury. It's just a Bitcoin treasury now, Strategy B. And number 9, Cantor Fitzgerald, Howard Lutnick's company. So Howard Lutnick, Jamie Dimon, and Larry Fink, all of the top 10 holders in MicroStrategies, the number one Bitcoin treasury in the world. Howard Lutnick is in the top 10 with Cantor, and Howard Lutnick is in the top 3 of Bitcoin treasuries with XXI and 21 Capital. So your Commerce Secretary of the United States is connected in 2 ways to the top 3 Bitcoin treasuries in the world. Your President of the United States, Trump Media, is number 11 Bitcoin treasury in the world. And your president's son, Eric Trump, is fastly climbing. He's at the 20th spot with American Bitcoin, a Bitcoin treasury and a mining company. So here's my top portfolio. Here's what I believe, not financial advice, just being honest. So you can save this and come back and see how I did. I'm not going to pick all winners. This is what I believe. On my asset side, my top holdings will be by 2030. XRP, Bitcoin, WLFI on the crypto side. That'll be the top 3. Also have Solana, XLM, HBAR, VeChain, many others. My top 3 are XRP, Bitcoin, WFI. WL as in Larry FI, World Liberty Financial. On the stock side, my top 2 are American Bitcoin and XXI. Do you see how I make my decisions? Not off hype, not off hopium, off the infrastructural change, the people writing the rules, and knowing that our system is dramatically changing for the next 100 years. After 2030, your system is going to be unrecognizable. So your job as head of household is to get your shit together, physically, spiritually, and financially. And stop with the blind leadership. Lead your family well. I hope this helps. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Love you guys.